Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chord Dave Live. As you can see, the background and everything is slightly different. I'm literally just facing the other way right now, and my lights are not in the right places because deliveries have not happened this week. It being St. Patrick's Day and everything. Here in Ireland, we had 2 days off this week, and people decided not to bring all the equipment I needed. So, one of the pieces of equipment I've used for my videos in the past belonged to the company I stopped working for last week, so they took it back, which is fair enough. And I now know where to put my camera, so we're making do. So hopefully we'll have a good evening here. So thanks for putting up with that. And yeah, now that we know everything's working, microphones and everything, because that's what I was having trouble with that. Happy Saturday. Glad to have you here. Welcome and Sláinte. All right, so for the curious, this is White Haze IPA from O'Hara's. It's an Irish beer because, you know, the week that's in it. And it's interesting. We'll find out more about that as we go. So how are you all doing? Thanks for joining us. Lots of people in the chat already. Thank you so much. Marcia was first. So thanks, Marcia, for being here. And let's... Let's see. So you'll bet all the dollars they don't have on the subject of the day. I actually haven't got anything prepared for that. So suggestions in the comments right there. So yeah, absolutely. It's 100% a good thing to not bet on things I will do, because I will do the opposite. Also, is the stream at 6 p.m. Eastern? Possibly. Or did Dave forget to dial back the launch time on YouTube since our clocks changed last week? Your clocks may have changed last week, but ours are changing tonight. So there's always like a week delay between that, which is great in one way, because if you're trying to reach people who are over that side of the world, there's a time when you're like an hour closer. But that all changes tonight. So yeah, no, it's just 10 o'clock here right now, 10:05. So anyways, so you must have been really early. Thanks for that. I was thinking maybe Dave would want to go to sleep earlier, or it might have changed. So well, anywho, done talking to myself. Yeah, well, I do. I always want to sleep early. I know it's all good. Scott Bogfoot's here. Nice to see you, Scott. Yeah, thanks for joining us as always. We enjoy seeing you here. And Todd Moore is here as well. Yeah, actually, just want to point out, if you missed it in the videos in the background this week, Eddie joined the band, Eddie Van Halen. He unexpectedly joined the band. I forgot I'd ordered him. And so you never know what's going to pop up in the background of a 3-Chord Dave video for the live streams or otherwise. Todd says, I'm in for a bit, but may have to leave as there's a death in the family earlier today. Todd, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Yeah, that sucks, but hey, glad to have you here. Thanks for taking time in such a moment to come and join us. Glenn is here, says hello, Dave, and cheers to all in the room. Absolutely, Glenn, good to see you. I'm just going to go ahead and say that new Gibson guitar is quite fugly. yes, I saw your comment on the video for it, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's quite unspectacular, but I like their ideas. I like their approach to the whole archive collection thing. As I said in the video, I hope that at some point there's something cool is coming, but I don't know. You know, Mark Agnesi hasn't yet emailed me the secret files with all the other releases that are to come, so we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, this just in case anyone hasn't seen it yet, it's this one, the vase, the Gibson vase. So, yeah, I think what do I got to do? I got to move the other way. I always go the wrong way. Yeah, it's very unspectacular. Like, I can see why Ted McCarthy was like, that's not the one to produce. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it looks a little bit better in the cherry, but still, it looks a bit whatever. Who cares? And the one thing people are saying that they like about it is the Explorer headstock, or as Gibson call it on their website, the Scimitar headstock. It doesn't do anything special for me, this guitar. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. what I do think it is sold out. So, but I agree with you. I agree with you there, Todd. It's not particularly well designed or anything, and it's not quite accurate to the drawing either. Somebody's gone around and changed what it is. So, hey, people out there wanted to pay $5,000 for it. They're all sold out, so they made their money. It's all good. All right, so Todd just said, yeah, you're out. So anyway, take care, Todd. If you do get to watch this back, thoughts are with you and your family. Take care. Yeah, and thanks for popping in. Glenn, I'm not sure how I feel about the new Gibson yet. I like the old melody makers, so I kind of like this. I don't like the custom shop price. I may wait for Harley Benton to copy it. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like as I mentioned in the video, if these were USA models, and I mean, I think they would have been quite popular. But I think the thing is to look at it as, well, hey, Gibson is at least trying to do something different. If I was in the market for a $5,000 guitar, I certainly wouldn't be looking at these, and that's the biggest telling point. Like, and there's nothing to me about this guitar that makes me say, oh, well, actually, that would put it over the top of something else. The finishes aren't exactly, super appealing, and the design itself is a little bit meh. So, Ted McCarthy, everything he did eventually turned to gold, but this one there might be a reason why he didn't press on with it. Bear in mind, if he designed it in 1957, pretty sure it was 1966 when he stopped working at Gibson. So he had time. If he wanted to produce this, he could have. But no. Anyway, moving on. Thanks for watching that video, guys, and thanks for your thoughts on it. I do appreciate it. Ernie B is here. Nice to see you. As always, Ernie, hope you're doing well. Evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. And Tom's out here. Absolutely. Marcia says, I know clocks don't change everywhere. Just thought Dave might want to go to bed sooner. Dave always wants to go to bed sooner. That's for sure. Maybe he'll reconsider my brilliant idea. Dave can change time, even if Ireland doesn't. I mean, I can. I don't know. I mean, the idea for the time of 10 p.m. Irish time was that it would include a time when people in Australia, like Robert, who pops in, would be able to join the show. And it would also give people in the US and obviously here in Europe a chance to catch the show. So that was my thinking. I have many times considered finishing at 11. So like starting at 9. But just do it. It's fine. Saturdays just, they have in the past, in the last 3 months, been work all day, get some food, do a live stream. And that was starting to get a bit old, but that's gone now. So yeah, it should be good the next few months. But yeah, clocks are changing tonight, so that's another thing. Let me see. And Marcia's going to post the stream to Twitter. Oh, awesome. Perfect. Yeah, thanks so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. If anyone here uses Twitter or other social media, it really helps spread the word by posting Dave's content publicly with lots of guitar music hashtags. Always retweet and share them. Thanks, Marcia. That's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. People are, like, the YouTube people are always telling you to do stuff like that. And, go comment on other content providers or creators channels and stuff like that, and I only comment on the ones that I like. So I don't go and say stuff like, hey, come to my channel or whatever like that. I don't see the value in that, but I do appreciate you guys being out there, and I've spotted some of you on other channels, by the way. We'll talk about that in the future. It's fine, but I'm not too upset about it. No, it's all good. The people in YouTube, though, they're always saying post it on social media. They don't know how much I just don't go on social media, but I do appreciate you, Marcia. Thank you so much for doing that. So let me see. Yeah, then some dude called Chord Dave said he'll be with you in a few moments. Yeah, my software, just to let you know what's happening early, by the way, my software has a little thing that shows me the microphone's working now, because we had an incident in the past, so I just make sure that comes up, but it wasn't there, so I didn't know if the microphone was working. That's why it was a bit later starting than I would have liked. So yeah, anyway, Robert is here, actually. Nice to see you, Robert, all the way from Australia. Hope your Sunday morning is off to a good start. And let me see who else have we got here. Anne is here. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you, as it is every Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us. Scott says, hey, Dave, just did my taxes and it says I'm getting a new guitar. I love it when that happens. Yeah, that's super cool. In fact, last year, this January, because our taxes are all done, January, February, we pretty much everyone that I was working with on my team was like, going to get a huge tax return this year. Going to be, and I was shopping. I'm telling you, I was doing quite a bit of shopping with mine in my head before I knew what was happening. And yeah, it turned out to be completely zero. Second year in a row. So yeah, Taxman is enjoying himself this week or this year, last year as well. They even took your darn lights too. And I bet still no sweatshirt. Actually, the sweatshirt arrived on Monday, which was very strange. I was like, why did they send me this? I don't work for them anymore. But anyway, there you go. No, my lights are still here. It's just the platforms that I would put the camera on. So like the desk device. It wasn't a desk. I'm not going to tell you what it was. It was on something that I needed to send back. And so yeah, so we're for the live stream now. I have a proper tripod, but I just can't set it up and have somewhere to put my computer and so forth, so I can see the comments and everything. So yeah, and I have another one ordered and it's due here this week. It was actually due on Friday, but Friday was a holiday, so it didn't happen. In fact, I have a lot of stuff that's supposed to be coming last week that didn't happen, so it's fine, work will be done, and next week we'll just be back to normal. So hopefully we'll be back to normal. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hello, Benny. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us once again. Let me see what we've got. James Severin is here. Nice to see you, James, as always. Thanks for joining us. Al says, yeah, great to see something new from Gibson. Too bad it's not affordable. Yes. The affordable thing is going to be a constant argument with Gibson, I think. I don't think they really care. Because they're only making 300 of a guitar. They're not really in it for the money. I mean, they are, but they're not making that much off it. So, yeah, it's not a huge deal, but the collection could be. So we'll see what comes of that, and hopefully it'll be across the different things. I am excited. I'm excited that it's going to be cool. Marcia says, I hope you guys saw my comments on the Theodore. It makes a lot of historical sense design-wise, plus Rickenbacker released a very similar Tulip a year prior. There's been lots of similar designs to that one. Yeah, actually, I'm going to take that off the screen because I actually don't want it there for the whole thing. Although I was quite impressed with my like 5-minute Photoshop job on this version of the picture. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, I did see your comments, Marcy. Yeah, you're 100% correct. Yeah, Rickenbacker had something before that. A lot of companies have had stuff like this kind of shape, even since. A lot of boutique manufacturers have done something like this over the last few years as well. And yeah, I think that's probably why Ted McCarthy was like, we won't go with that one. So yeah, like apparently his thing was he'd be sitting in business meetings and he'd just have a bit of paper and he'd be sketching stuff. So every time he had a business meeting, which you would presume was multiple times per day, maybe 3 or 4 times a day, he was just sitting there sketching guitar ideas as well as taking in whatever information. So, so yeah, there's probably hundreds of these things, but that one they've released, I think that was a like test the water kind of thing, see how people would react to it. Whether it was a good idea or a bad idea to do. I think they'll hear the backlash about people saying like, why is it custom shop? Why is it so limited? Why is it so expensive? And they may just do something. But again, it's if they were going to be serious about this, I think they would have done like some spectacular finishes or something that you can't get in other guitars in the range. Again, some different kind of finish or some different kind of pickups or something, but there's nothing special about these at all. Even as you say, the design was used by other companies before, so it'd be interesting to see what comes of it though, because apparently there is some really cool stuff in those sketches. the 13 supposed models, so the 10 other ones that weren't selected for the 58 NAMM. There apparently is some interesting stuff there. Scott says, if there's more, I think there will be a reverse flying V or a Corvus. I think something along those lines are very possible. Yeah, absolutely. I think the reverse flying V, I don't think that'll be in the lineup, but I mean, it's hard to think now. Like, if you go back to 1957, what would they think of futuristic? That was the pitch. It was like you had to create or come up with a guitar that would be futuristic. So the Flying V and the Explorer, you know, stuff like that hadn't really been done before. And of course, the Modern was kind of, it's just wacky out there altogether. And those are the three that made it officially. And as I said, this one, the Theodore, I doubt it would ever have been called the Theodore in 1957. But that definitely would have been, I think, a little too similar, so it wouldn't have been considered futuristic. But yeah, the Corvus, maybe, who knows? I'd like to see them just get a little bit strange with it, though. Like, if they're going to adjust the sketches anyway and like design, take them as the main inspiration, but move things on them like they did with this one, clearly, do some funky colors, do things that are not available in just the standard ranges. I think that's the greatest thing they could do, and make them like not so expensive. So anyway, let me see. Kudaraz or AZ. Pickguard is hideous and dot inlays. Seems this is a bit overpriced for what it is. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that one for sure. Now, there's a great Paul David's interview with the guy who discovered the drawing in Gibson's archives. Very worth interesting info. All right, I'll have to check that out at some point. So yeah, thanks for that, Marcia. What's up with the new backdrop, my friend? Did I miss something when I walked away? No, Ernie, I'm just facing the other way just for tonight. It's just a one-off thing. We'll be back to normal next week. It's just I just don't have as much stuff in this room as I used to. That's all. But more stuff will be here. It'll be back to normal soon. Glenn says, I think they said there were 9 others to go to Theodore. We shall see. As far as I'm aware, Gibson are not saying there's 9, but the rest of us are saying there must be 9. Because they have said it's to do with the 58 NAMM show designs, and we know there was 13 of those considered and 3 of them made. So this making it the 4th one. So it would leave 9 more. So yeah, it should mean 9 more. And as I said in the video on yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. They should really do one for a month for the rest of the year. That'd be cool, and the collection would be up there, and you know, that'd be just a nice thing for them to do. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I'd like them to do it that way. But it's cool thinking. I mean, I think they've done something different, which is nice. Let's see. My fave part is that the Explorer nearly had the split V headstock, but they didn't like it and took the hockey stick from this guitar drawing. The hockey stick was original to this design first. Yeah, it's kind of there's different versions of the story, I guess. But yeah, they were playing around with different headstock designs as part of it. But yeah, the split V was in contention for the Explorer and for pretty much anything that's not just a standard Les Paul at one point. But yeah, the hockey stick did the sketch that he's done here. It was the first one like it, but it's actually different again. So it's not actually fully the Scimitar headstock that they've got. So they did, I suppose, come up with that at a later time, or it came from something else. But I think this is where it was like the first thing that it was developed from, for sure. But yeah, the headstock design has been weird at Gibson over the years, and the history of it is quite interesting. Apparently that's one of the things that have caused quite a lot of arguments internally over the years. The Asian Redneck, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Glenn says, I work on Saturday and off on Sundays. This is a good time for me. There you go. Well, that's one vote for right now. So good. They're stuck running errands again, so won't be active in chat, but listening live. Hey, thanks for joining us while you're doing your errands. Appreciate that. That's super cool. Glenn says, I'm jealous, Dave. I've not got my Eddie Pop yet. Yeah, do you know what? I was trying to get one when they dropped initially on the site and they ran out. And then I backup was Amazon, and so I ordered it and forgot all about it. And it arrived. That's so weird. Um, so yeah, but there it is. It's cool. It's a nice addition to the thing. I think I might have another one on order actually somewhere else. I'll have to try and check out what I have outstanding still. Stephen Fraser says, why are so many Gibsons on back order? Depends where you're buying them from, I've noticed. Some companies have way more stock and are getting restocked more often than others. Toman, I'm looking at you. Where the hell's all the Gibsons? And Epiphones for that matter. But yeah, so I think some of them are just getting restocked faster. But the real reason is for the last 2 years, Gibson aren't able to make guitars fast enough to sell them all. They are just flying out the door. So unless you're looking for something that's already in stock somewhere, and which probably means it's expensive, and it's not a special edition, we're just gonna you're just gonna have to get lucky with a delivery or something like that from to your dealer because yeah, they just literally can't make them fast enough. I hope that answers your question there, Stephen. Um, Fender and Jackson are the same depending on guitars. Yeah, yeah. Like I know people who are waiting way over a year for certain guitars. So so yeah, it's a rough time if you're trying to buy new stuff unless it's actually in stock. And I generally hold the opinion that like I'm not a patient person, so I don't like waiting for something. So if it's not in stock, I won't buy it unless it's something I know is very limited and I'm not likely to get it after a certain amount of time. So yeah, it's a rough one, but hey, hopefully you can get what you're looking for if there's something that you're after. And there's always a secondhand market. Usually things are available there quite readily. Um, it really surprised me that they used the headstock for the Theodore. It's a bit strange, but I think I like it. Wouldn't it be cool if you could order that headstock you want, like with Kiesel? Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing. Like if they ever did a mod shop, you know the way Fender has their mod shop where you basically design the guitar, like you pick the finish and you pick what pickups and everything. That it's a nice little thing they have, which you can't do in Ireland for some reason. But hey, it's fine. I'm not jealous or nothing. But yeah, if Gibson did something like that, I suppose they have their made to measure thing where you can walk in and ask them to make you whatever, but you gotta have top dollar for that. So, um, yeah, I think look, they should open up something like that to the general public. They would probably what they would do is if you want to change the headstock, they'll charge you an extra $200, something like that. But it would be cool. That's a good idea, Ernie, to be quite honest. Um, Martin says, Ernie saw what I said about the headstock. This was the first design to have the hockey stick. The Explorer originally was supposed to have a split neck, but they didn't like it for that. As I said, there's a couple of different versions of the story, but it is definitely where it came from initially. Didn't think Gibson has a sense of humor. Now Fender with the Hot Wheels guitars. Um, yeah, who was it I saw talking about the Hot Wheels guitar? I think it was Casino Guitars saying that they thought they lost their mind, and then somebody called them up and asked, can they buy all of them? It's like you know these are like $12,000 minimum each. Um, but there you go. Scott says, looks like it'd poke me in the ribs. Possibly worse places too. I presume that's the Theodore. You don't want Theodore poking you in the ribs. Um, like I was half contemplating asking you guys what would be a better name for the guitar because I think the Theodore is a god awful name. Like what were they thinking? Yeah, it's nice. Do you know what it is? It's just a bland guitar. If I saw it hanging in a guitar store, I wouldn't look at it twice. So that's my thinking. So they borrowed the headstock from this drawing. So technically, this was supposed to be the first guitar with the hockey stick, had they produced it. A hockey stick headstock, though, every time hockey stick headstock is mentioned, I just want to say that's a Fender thing, because that's what it is. Fenders have that hockey stick on the Electric 12, the hockey stick headstock. That's where it came from initially, but that was in 1961, I believe. I know I did a guitar wish list about that, so you can check that out. But yeah, like I don't play hockey. I'm not a hockey fan. This doesn't remind me of a hockey stick though, so I don't know, I just call it the Explorer headstock, but I get where it's coming from. But yeah, this was the inspiration for what became the Explorer headstock. It came from there. But if you look at the picture, it's not the same as it is as it ended up being. It's just, I think they were like, let's work on this. So there. James says Theodore is a butt ugly guitar. Don't disagree with you, my friend. Yeah, that's not. Maybe it's not that I disagree with you. I just don't think it's bad, and I don't think it's good, and I don't think it's okay. I'm not really sure what I think of it. I just like the idea behind it. They're doing something different. Let's see. Let's have a quick look. Gibson technically haven't said they found the other concept drawings from that same year. I hope they have found them. Yeah, that's true. As I said, yeah, they haven't come out and said they found everything. But they do have archives, and there is apparently lots of stuff in there that hasn't been produced. People I've been talking to have said that this is the start of something. Like, they wouldn't have come out and said archive collection if they didn't have stuff ready to go. So we should be seeing stuff soon. They might even do a whole batch of stuff, but this was kind of the first one out. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough, because I'd say in the next month or so they'll be like, here's what we've got for you. Robert says, I don't know why, but really thinking of getting Gibson Explorer. Anyone got one, had one, or thoughts? I can only say no to that. I haven't had, but they're cool. They're very cool. I'm often tempted by them myself, but I think some of the guys here mentioned they have Explorer, so they might be able to help you out a bit better. Let's see. To be fair, this was just a sketch. Had it gone to the next stage, I bet it would have been refined to the hockey shape. But they did it for the Explorer. The guy in the Paul David's interview explained more. I see. Well, as I haven't seen that, so possibly does he explain more? I don't know. Glenn says, I'm still waiting on my PRS, hopefully by the end of the month. Well, it'll be worth the wait. PRSs are great. I've had two at this point. Out of the box, they've been fantastic. So I'm just going to say that there's an awful lot of cool things about having a PRS. They're just great playing guitars. So yeah, good luck with that, Glenn. Mar says, I'm just shocked nobody has combed through the Gibson archives until now. I'd love to see them digitize their archives as an online museum. They won't likely do that for fear Fender will steal their ideas. Yeah, you know, I get the feeling that Gibson's archives were like a storage shed somewhere, just everything was thrown into it in boxes, and it wasn't organized in any way. And then someday they went through it and were like, oh, wait a minute, this is interesting stuff. So yeah, I think at some point that there's probably like some kid has his first job in Fender or in Gibson, and it's going through all these boxes and things in a storage shed. That's probably why it's come out till now. But it is strange, right, that nobody has discovered these in the last 50 years even. So yeah, I agree with you 100% there. Let me see, where are we now? We're about half an hour in. Okay, very good stuff there. Let me see. Jagathu Pertil says, hey lads, how you doing? Doing quite well. How are you, sir? Thanks for joining us. Do appreciate you being here. Scott says, I like the hockey stick and canoe paddle, but not so much to V headstock. The V headstock is a bit... it depends. It depends which size you get. I like my one, but also I'm biased because I like everything about that guitar, except for the neck pickup. Still haven't figured out what it is, but it's not good. That's all we know on that one so far. Jagathu says, I love the Explorer headstock, but really hate it on rounded guitars. Interesting, yeah. I think it might be one of those things that kind of splits people down the middle. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people made a video about it, commented on the video I made about it during the week, saying, someone said, I'm looking for the Les Paul, was it the XPL that has the thing? You know, I know there's been certain YouTubers have made videos about owning those before. I don't think they look bad, but as I said, I think it's one of those people will have mixed opinions on. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. It looks good. It fits the Explorer, I think, better than anything. So it does look a bit out of place on like a Les Paul or something. But I wouldn't mind it though. Al says a Theodore guitar should have followed an Alvin guitar and the chipmunk on the headstock. See, that's some good thinking right there. You should be on the team with the development of these things, Al. That's definitely worthwhile. And then the Simon model, absolutely. The Alvin Simon and the Theodore. If they do that, that would be great. I don't know if they've got Alvins and Simons to name guitars after, but if they do, that would be fantastic. That's that's the kind of stuff that you'd only get on 3 Chord Dave Live, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, you can hit that subscribe button right now, join the chat, and make me laugh just like that, like Al did. So brilliant stuff, Al. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Scott says, I see how it looks like a hockey stick blade because the end is rounded, unlike the meat cleaver. But yeah, you should call it the Explorer headstock. There you go. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's just takes me out of it. Even the Scimitar, which is what they have on their website, Scimitar headstock. I was like, I've never heard that word before. What the hell is that all about? There you go. Maybe they should have put the Theo on a banner and tried another model. Yeah, that's true. They could have done something more significant. I mean, Ted McCarthy is like the reason Gibson exists still. I mean, right? Because he basically created all of their hits. There you go. I know they're staying true to the sketch, but I would have preferred the classic headstock or maybe the V headstock, not the split one, the pointy arrow one. I'd be honest with you, the first thing that stands out to me about the sketch is that they didn't stay original to it. Like, for example, the 3-way switch was supposed to be on one of the horns. And it said could be on either side, it says on it. It appears to say on it. And I think the shape is actually slightly different as well. And obviously the headstock. Now, I know it's just a sketch. He wasn't doing like a design drawing or whatever. But yeah, they made some artistic choices, which, you know, they worked fine. They worked fine. They're just, it's one of those things I think they could have, as you said, they could just put a regular headstock on it. Would have looked fine. Maybe should have called it the Ted. He obviously preferred to go by Ted and not Theodore. Yeah. Well, it's one of those interesting ones. Like if I had a guitar, if I was as influential at Gibson and they were like, they called a guitar the David, I would be kind of pissed off. Because I go by Dave. So if anyone calls me David, I'm like, what did you just say? No, that you must be talking to someone else. So anyway, I agree with you. I agree with you right there, Marsha, for sure. Called it the Ted. But I honestly don't think they should have given it the dude's name. I think they should have called it something completely different and put like they could have even called it the I know PRS have a McCarthy model, but they could have come out with the Gibson McCarthy. People would have been like, I see what you're doing there. And I would have liked it. I would have liked it a lot better. There you go. Anyone want to bet that Geek Lord gets each color? I think he put out a video. I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it later tonight probably, but he has a video reviewing it, I think. Some fancy YouTubers, you know, with the hundreds of thousands of people in their subscriber base, they got these guitars as review models. So the 318, I think, are actually about 300 actual models out that people could have bought. It puts that limited edition thing really, it makes it suck, I think, because even if you wanted to buy one of these guitars, probably a lot of people couldn't because they just weren't available. And like with 106 of each color, it's yeah, it's not great. Gibson, I still don't understand why they did 318. Like, do 1,000. Do a small run of 1,000. 318 is a silly number. I don't care what the date was. He drew the sketch. Anyway, David Ruiz, how are you, sir? Good to see you. I find it sad that Gibson keeps looking to the past for inspiration. Apparently nobody there has an original idea or concept for new designs. That's an interesting point, David. And I think what they will do in terms of that is just keep changing or making adjustments to things from the past. So Les Pauls will get new features and, you know, new paint jobs and stuff like that. Like the Epiphone Muse, for example, or the Les Paul Modern, those kind of things will be done. It'll be less new design, unless something interesting comes out of this archive collection, or, you know, I don't think they really have that desire, at least at the moment. But who knows? Maybe they will do a similar thing and say, look, we got to look to the future, like Ted McCarthy did in 1957. And let's see, can we come up with 3 designs for the next NAMM show? I highly doubt it, but yeah. But it's like people always say about Hollywood. Hollywood has no original ideas. They're just making remakes all the time. And if you speak to any writer in Hollywood, they'll say to you, oh, but we do. It's just the remakes make loads more money. That's the problem. Every time they release a new Les Paul or an SG or an Explorer, they sell out. So until that stops happening, they don't need to, unfortunately. But I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Let's see. He also didn't do his research on his video and made lots of factual errors and assumptions, but he probably will get one of each. Me? I did like 10 minutes of research. How dare you? Oh no, you mean Geek Lord. All right. Well, you know, that wouldn't be a first. But anyway, moving on. I'll take a PRS McCarthy, much better than the Theo. Yeah, the PRS McCarthys are awesome. When I brought my PRS to Marty, the local luthier, he was like, is this a McCarthy? These are awesome. I was like, sadly, it's not a McCarthy, but someday. Money H2O is here. Nice to see you, sir. Glad you are part of the party. Pretty cool when you have to go back to notes from 1958 for a new model release. Yeah, well, you know, they have they have other things that they need, like, are pressing on their mind. Like, they need to find out who the next pennant they're going to release is, who gets the next case for a special edition guitar that's an empty case that you can't buy the guitar for. How can they fail on quality control? You know, they got very important things to work out there, you know, how to screw up putting in bridge posts, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, good point, sir. Let me see. I love how we're only talking about the looks of the guitar. What about the tone, the specs? How about all of those things? Yeah, look, I think I mentioned it in the video. It's kind of boring. Alder body with a walnut stripe. I did say maple stripe. I don't know why, but that's what I said. But it's alder with a walnut stripe on the body. Soap bar P90s, which I think are the greatest pickups you can put in a guitar. I love P90s. It's you know, what is it? It's a mahogany neck, right? And Indian rosewood on the fretboard. It's a 24 and 3/4 inch scale. It's nothing special. It's pretty much an SG special. So it's kind of special, but it's an SG special just with a different body shape and different body wood material. So yeah, I don't think that it's really something very cool specs wise. I don't think it's spectacular or stand outy in any way, but people will have different opinions. The people that just paid $5,000 for it will love them, I think. So, you know, but I think a lot of people bought them for resale value, and I don't think they'll have resale value. So, but yeah, we can talk about, I mean, look, throw your ideas in. If you heard, I've watched Rhett Shull play one. It sounded pretty good, but Gibson P90s do sound pretty good. So there you go. Muddy H2O straight in with the super chats. Thank you so much for that. That does mean a lot to me with the $5 super chats. And says, I'll hold out for the Chord Dave Flying SG exclusive run. Here's my plan on that, Muddy. I'm going to go to NAMM. I'm going to corner Mark Agnesi. I'm going to tell him, look, make 300 guitars for me, my signature model. And I promise you, we'll sell them all. The thing is, they can only be €400 or slash dollars, and they have to be flying SGs. See what he says. I have a feeling I know what he will say. Limited edition, 300 guitars, €400 slash dollars, and they'll only be available in blue or translucent. So that's the color choices. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. As always, very kind. Al says, Glenn, I take a PRS McCarthy before any Gibson production run. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I've never seen a PRS with really bad QC issues. Maybe they just don't make enough guitars to have really bad QC issues. Moving on. I think that Paul David's sound demonstration was the best of the few I saw. Others, it didn't sound as good. Yeah, it's one of those, though, where I think there was a bit of overkill on YouTube. And I'm part of that problem. I do understand that. I put out a video about it yesterday as well. And as you guys know, I normally put out a video Thursday. I paused because I knew there was a Gibson release on Friday. Also, St. Patrick's Day, so it's kind of like I'll just wait maybe till Friday to make the video. But yeah, it was it was one of those. I just kind of I watched 3 or 4 videos on it. I was like, that's enough. And everything on my feed since yesterday has been the Gibson Theodore, blah blah blah. And I was like, it's not that interesting a guitar. You know, other things that they've done that I'm like, well, it is interesting. I want to know about it. I didn't find it all that interesting. But anyway, but here we are talking about it for nearly 40 minutes. So, you know, I think that's maybe an indication. Maybe it isn't. I think it's an interesting move, not an interesting guitar. I'll come back and say that again and again. Mark says they moved the switch to the bottom because the guy in that interview said it wasn't the best place for a guitar player. Ted didn't play guitar, so he was going for aesthetics in the drawing. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it also makes sense that they just basically put an SG in a different shaped body, which is, you know, my preference. I love the SG, so I'm not complaining about it. I just think, you know, that's where a Les Paul has its switch. And I know people complain about it on Les Pauls as well, but if you're Gibson, you don't care what people think. So, no, but it's true. I mean, it's a newish model. But if they are going to be, you know, coming out with these archives, they should say, we took the inspiration from this. No, we took this picture and made it. You know, don't want to give Gibson shit on this one because I actually do believe they're doing good stuff here. Just if anyone is late, by the way, we are going to go back to regular lighting and all that sort of stuff next week. It's just a case of things have been moved around here and the replacement things haven't arrived yet, but they will. We'll get back to normal stuff next week. So thanks for putting up with the weird lighting and everything. I mean, that behind me there. No, this way. That one there is one of the normal lights I use for YouTube. That's normally shining on me from the other direction. And normally those guitars behind me here, which are on the other side of the room, those are normally they're normally there. That's where they live. So they're not in the background. You know, all my other stuff that you see is there. But I am moving this office around. I'm changing a few things with the new setup that's starting next week. So there might be changes to the 3-Chord Dave layout. You never know. We might get some fanciness going on. Got some video production, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. Scott says, I don't think it should have been his name either. Maybe The Boss. See, I like that. I like that. That could have been. Now, here's the other thing. They might have more Ted McCarthy inspired designs that are coming. And maybe something like that's going to be called the Ted or the Boss or El Presidente or whatever. I don't know. Whoever is making these decisions will obviously make their decisions. But the Boss would have been a cool idea, Scott. Yeah, good stuff. Al says, Dave, would you prefer a name similar to Yamaha? As in for me or for the Theodore? I just wish they had done something a little bit more creative. I don't think calling it Theodore is quite creative. Mark says, I don't see why the switch couldn't be on the top. Other Gibsons have them up the top after all. Yeah, exactly. Quite true. When switching to open tunings, do you need to memorize the finger positions? Stephen, I tell you what, there's some people here who will tell you all about open tunings. I don't play in open tunings myself, so I leave mine in standard most of the time. So very rarely move from there. So hopefully someone can give you the answer to that there. Let's see how we're doing. It's 11:15. Not too bad. Probably time. I don't know if you saw this. I was giving out with Gibson's lifestyle products and plugged my own lifestyle product. Don't forget, guys, there are links in the description of every video to pick up a copy of one of these free bird 3-Chord Dave t-shirts. If you want to pick one up, you can do so for the next 6 weeks, 5 weeks now. So it comes in this fetching green color with the gold print in the totally original font that I've not ripped off from any other guitar company. If you want to check that out, that'd be super cool. They're going pretty well, so appreciate it for everybody who has bought them. Some of you have bought like multiple 3-Chord Dave t-shirts, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. And every penny raised by t-shirt sales will go towards buying a house in the Bahamas. I mean, the YouTube channel goes back into the YouTube channel. So thanks. I appreciate it. Let me see. Would you prefer Yamaha's naming conventions such as the ASZ 45853 mouse? Maybe that's a good point, Al. Yeah, no, I don't think I would like that as much. But you know, at the same time, if they called it some, like the SG is not a fantastically creative name. Solid Guitar, SG, fantastic. You know. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I to be honest, I wouldn't like a guitar to be called the Dave after me. I think my ego is that bad. So, and I don't think Ted McCarthy would have liked it either. So there you go. Bruce Springsteen might be or will be pissed. Oh, if the guitar was called the Boss, yeah, for sure. Absolutely good stuff. And of course, I'm going to say the following comments that Glenn has put in, and I'm going to get, even further onto the Gibson naughty list for this book. Gibson, those bastards. Yeah. I've been saying it all along. SB, nice to see you. Says, I fear that Theodore isn't the worst unreleased design prepared to come out. I'm glad there's only 300 made. Could you imagine thousands of those guitars in the wild? Yeah. That's the thing though. This would have been one of those guitars that they have like huge blowouts on, where they would have sold them for like half price. If they had been in the like a USA lineup, and in 6 months time, they would have sold them off for like 1,200 quid or something. When it comes to unreleased designs, not being the worst one, I think that, yeah, this is like the safe one. I think this is like there's nothing people won't think is people will think this is offensive. It's a very whatever guitar. Yeah, I think there will be some opinion splitting by Gibson in this archive collection. It's also like it's also kind of a little bit like the like Fender when they do their alternate reality kind of thing. I think that's what we're going to see. You're going to see basically Les Paul and SGs just pushed into different shaped bodies. That's essentially what we're seeing here. I think that's what we're going to see as well in different variations. But you never know. Maybe they'll surprise us and have something very cool. What would be funny is if they brought out something that they got sued about, like something that another company was like, screw you guys, we've been producing these for 30 years. Get a bit of their own medicine there. That'd be fantastic. Ernie B says, what are the chances they stayed after work at Gibson one Friday, and after a few drinks, the guy said, I got an idea to get rid of that pile of alder out the back? I mean, yeah, that maybe someday that's what happened. Now it's a good shout. I like it. Although I have a feeling that a lot of people, when they finish work at Gibson, they're like, get out of there as quickly as possible. Is he judging by recent custom shop releases? I have a feeling they will release this model under USA and Epiphone 2 at a later date. It's possible. Depends how well it's received. And what I believe is that they're looking to see, like, they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok. That's one, isn't it? And they're on Twitter for the next couple of weeks, seeing people's reactions. And some people have been very positive and said they love this guitar. And some of us have been like, it's a good idea, but whatever. And some people hate it, like, and I don't disagree with anybody really. I can see why some people would like it. I can see why some people hate it, and I kind of fall smack bang in the middle. I don't hate it myself. I just don't like it, and I wouldn't buy one. Definitely not for $5,000. If I was spending $5,000 on a guitar today, and I wanted a brand new Gibson, I wouldn't even look at these. So, like, they'd be the first one ruled out. I'd look at everything else that Gibson had for $5,000 beforehand. and then I'd go buy a Fender. But anyway, or a PRS. There you go. But yeah, you're right. It possibly could find its way to the USA collection if they're well received, and I think they would. I think they could do it. Like, you know, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did it like soon, like in the summer NAMM show. But we'll see. Glenn says, I think Gibson would F up a glory hole. F hole. Never mind. Moving on. Thanks for that, Glenn. It was supposed to be a student guitar, so it makes sense the release as USA or Epiphone. That's why it's not so spectacular on paper. I think the whole student thing gets overplayed by Gibson though, because honestly, sometimes they need to just be like, yeah, we were going to make this a cheap guitar, so we're going to keep making cheap guitars. Not this was going to be a student model, so here's a $5,000 version of a student model. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's true. But you know, some people just like simple stuff. Like Les Paul Juniors are very popular for the reason that they're just straightforward rock and roll machines. There's nothing particularly fancy with them, and there's particularly nothing flashy or showy about them. That's why they're popular. Same with the early Telecasters, to be quite honest, or still the Telecaster, I suppose. Corner Mark Agnesi and his purr too, and whisper to his ear, play authentic, and then you go away. Yeah. just grab him in the corner and be like, Mark, I got some ideas for Gibson, man. We got to talk. Hey, we're not supposed to be giving Geek Lord any hassle for his playing. Remember, we agreed, or I said that we wouldn't. Marsha says, I heard Paul Davids and a few other play it. It's really nice. And Rachel, I think is the one that I saw playing it most. And his video, he made it sound pretty good, but he's a great guitar player. So, you know, he's a very good guitar player. So I like it, what he does, and makes some good sound. But again, it's basically an SG special. So it's going to sound good. Money HO, yet another super chat. Thank you so much. And you say, anyone that spent $5,000 on a tulip is out of their minds. I bought $1,000 in shares on one instead. You know, those shares at least unless you're talking about Rally. Oh man. Yeah, those are, I didn't look into the terms and conditions on Rally when I made the video about them, although like 6 months ago, was it? But KDH's video, I'm sure you've all seen KDH. He lives about 100 miles up the road, by the way. KDH, if you're out there, reach out, man. Let's do some stuff. But he brought up like terms and conditions. Are they real? Because some of them were ridiculous. Like, you can buy shares in something and we can sell it and not pay you. That's not how it works. Like, if you buy shares in a company and the company gets sold, your shares get bought. So anyway, it's just another load of nonsense. I don't know. I think maybe someone at Gibson was like conned into doing that Rally deal. I don't know. But anyway, it's just bizarre. Anyway, Ernie says, yeah, I love P90s as well. Actually been looking for a price-friendly guitar with them. P90s on a guitar. It's an SG special, Epiphone SG special. The one we gave away that Scott Bogfoot has. He'll tell you, they're better than you think, the Epiphone ones. They're really, really good. Excuse me. I think they're coming in around about $450 at the moment. That's probably about as price friendly as you're going to get a good set of P90s for. Although there was a Les Paul Junior, or maybe a special from Epiphone as well, that had a good set in them, and they're like $399, I think. SB says, Dave's right. We've been talking about the Theo vase. We need to mix it up. Glory hole. Thanks SB. Appreciate it. One comment about Steel Panther one time. So if you're new to the channel, by the way, you won't understand, but you need to go back to, like, I don't know, it was Chord Dave Live 3 or 4, and some of the weirdos around here brought up Steel Panther and one of their songs, and it became a running thing that happens every week now. Slodge. Anyway, let's get into it. David Ruiz says, unfortunately, I was one of the unlucky ones who got a bad QC issue PRS. Thankfully, Casino Guitars took care of it. Yeah, actually, I remember you mentioning that. That's true. It's a lot rarer than Gibson QC issues, though. So hopefully, look, I mean, that's a good thing. Casino taking care of it. Obviously, those dudes are cool. They've got one of the best guitar channels on YouTube. So I love them. I love them a lot. Hope someday to get into the store actually and check it out. That'd be cool. Be a cool trip to go on. If they decide to release a lower price point, it'll be a sweet sounding guitar. Sounds very close to 50s era guitars people pay 5 to 6 figures to get. It leans to that deep sound. I didn't get that from it when I heard it, but you know, look, it's soap bar P90s. That's very 50s. It's just, it's a 2-piece body. Maybe I suppose 3-piece body with the walnut as well. Yeah, it could. I'd have to listen to it a lot more. Whether it will hold up to things that people pay 5-6 figures for, I would say very unlikely 6 figures. But hey, who knows? Who knows? You can't really tell unless you're in the room with it, to be honest. But yeah, it's cool if it does. Definitely cool if it does. Oh, Dave, are you a Gibson or a Fender guy? People give Gibson a lot of shit for not having new ideas, but to be fair, Fender has Strats and Tellies in different colors over and over. At least Gibson cycles 5 shapes. So to answer that question, that Jackatoo, I tend to be more on the Gibson, like I lean over on the Gibson side, but I'm quite fond of Fender as well. Like I love a Telecaster, there's nothing wrong with it. Strats ain't too bad either, but you know, they do have other things, and I think that's, I see Fender doing a lot more innovation with their models than I see Gibson doing. I'm also a big fan of PRS, and I like what they do, and they do a lot of the same thing over and over again too. And it's like YouTube, unfortunately, we all fall into it. Every channel as well, every guitar channel falls into it. We all cover the same stuff over and over again, and I know when I'm making a video, 12 other YouTubers are working on it, or 100 other YouTubers are working on the same topic as well each week. So we all kind of know what's coming when it's coming, or you know, those of us who have some contacts in the business will get a little bit of information a few weeks beforehand, and most people are told not to say it, and I just say, fuck it, I'll say it anyway. But yeah, you know, look, it's not wrong. Gibson do the same things, but then I think what's happened with Gibson is every time they've tried something, they've got it wrong or they've got shit for it. So things like, say, and we'll come back to this over and over again for many a year, the robot tuners thing, because they didn't make that a choice, it was just, that's how it is. Every guitar is getting these different specs. A lot of people shit on them for it, and they should have made it optional. So it's just about how you do things. I think Fender right now are doing better stuff than Gibson are, but at the same time, when I walk into a guitar store, the first place I'm going is the Gibson guitars. So, but yeah, I think I still get excited every time I know there's a new Gibson guitar coming out. Same with Fenders though, but I mean, I'd go to Gibson first. So there you go. Hope that answers your question. Scott says, Dave, I have a Back to the Future mystery that I've discovered and never heard any people talking about. Are you and your brother interested in hearing about it and maybe figuring it out? Yeah, absolutely, Scott. I'm a huge Back to the Future nerd. And once in my previous job that I left, we had a mastermind competition where it was like you had to answer specialist topic questions and then a round of general knowledge. And I did, my specialist subject was Back to the Future. And like everyone was like, Jesus, how many times did you watch that movie? It's like, I don't know, like 100. So, because just in case you guys are not aware, if there's anybody new here who hasn't heard this story, basically Back to the Future is the movie that made me fall in love with cinema. And I went on and later and I worked in the film business for a bit. And it was because I love Back to the Future that I wanted to get into it. But then I left it because, you know, they're not making Back to the Future movies anymore. So, but yes, Scott, for sure, want to hear about it and figuring it out. Absolutely. And I read and know quite a lot about what went on producing it and everything. So yeah, let me know. Email me, or maybe you can say it here if you want. It's all good. But Benny says, couldn't we just give it the nickname to Teddy? We could. I don't think it makes it better for me though. Yeah. Let's just call it the ugly guitar from Gibson this week. At least everyone is talking about that ugly flower pot guitar. Any publicity. Absolutely. Absolutely. The old flower pot. I mean, it's a nice designed flower pot, to be quite honest with you. It works quite well. You know, it's got good tones from it. But yeah, if you look at it from there, guys, it's just an SG special with different body. That's all it is. And it's grotesque pickguard, to be honest. I don't like pickguards at the best of times. But yeah, that one is horrible. So, but again, triangles were big in the 50s. So there you go. A little fact for you. Which is completely made up and not true, by the way. Guys, had this guitar been released instead of the Explorer or V, and they released the Explorer or V being released right now, we also might be doing a WTF reaction. We aren't used to it. I don't know. I think the Explorer and the V are radical designs, particularly if nothing had ever ventured off into the more radical design type of thing. So this one, to me, it looks like a very basic design. It doesn't. I think anybody not involved in the guitar world could create this guitar design without ever seeing a guitar beyond a Strat and a Tele and an SG and a Les Paul. And most people on the street could point those things out and go, yeah, I recognize that guitar. So if you said to somebody, like, there's your inspiration, go draw a guitar, I think you get this design quite a lot of times. I don't think this is anything special. But, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I think the V would blow people's minds, would be like, how the hell do you even play that thing? You know, the V is an interesting beast. And yes, I'm recently converted to a love of flying Vs, having bought one, but I don't know. I just think it was such an out there thing at the time. The Explorer, maybe less so, but I still think the Explorer, well, it's never been on my like must-have list. I've come to it time and time and been like, it's cool though, I want one. But they're huge is the problem. They are absolutely massive. I think are they the biggest body size, the Explorer? Someone can tell me that, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I just think the Theodore's boring. That's my thing on it. So even I think when I get used to it, I always think it's boring. At least you can play it both sitting down and standing up, unlike the aforementioned models we all love so dearly. I play my Flying V sitting down, so I play all my guitars sitting down. So, and I'm pretty sure I can play it standing up as well. In fact, I've played it walking around the house, so you definitely can. So yeah, no, you can play them all sitting down. But look, it's fine if you like it. It's fine. We won't judge you too much. It's all good. That guy in the interview said that they have documented that it was supposed to be a student model. Again, go watch the Paul Davids video with the interview with the guy who dug this up at Gibson. I mean, it does sound like you are here to promote the Paul Davids video. I don't know why, but there you go. Oh yeah, sure. I've not been paid to sponsor the PD video. Sure, I get it. It's fine. KDH's videos are great. KDH does make some good stuff at times. I like his spin on things. He did a really interesting one, the Joe Bonamassa content, like the merch. Is like looking at the different merch he had and the pricing and stuff. Dude's pretty cool. I like him. Fun fact, he lives in the town I grew up in. Apparently. Anyway, Dennis Flock, nice to see you. Thinking about Fender Meteora But the Squire Tornado is tempting as well, especially in the green. Yeah, I mean, the Meteora to me is cooler than the Tornado. I'm not a big fan of the Tornado, but that's just me. Um, personally, I think, I don't know, between the two, the Meteora is cool. I like it. The fact that it's just a Player Plus model means it's slightly higher end than the Squire is, and should be better out of the box. But you never know. But yeah, between those two, for me it would come down to probably the finish. And if you're buying the Squire, you might end up changing the pickups, whereas you might not have to on the Meteora. So just, yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. Both would be fine guitars, I am sure. Lots of KDH is cool, and Marsha says he's awesome, shilling all of the other YouTubers. Just kidding, Marsha, just kidding. I like the Meteora release. I hope I win the guitar that Rob Baker is giving away. Is he giving away one of those as well? Fantastic. See, this is how far I'm behind on most of the stuff that I should have been doing this week, because as a lot of you know, I had the week off, but that just meant I had to do other stuff. Yeah, and weeks off never go as you plan. So yeah, I have to catch up on his videos. That'll be cool. But it'd be cool if you won one. That'd be excellent. Speaking of guitars that are being given away, actually, so have you guys heard of Emerald Guitars? I spoke about them a little bit last week, I believe. But they're giving away a guitar on Facebook. Now, you have to design the guitar on their new guitar builder. Now, they're an Irish company, and they are doing some very cool stuff. So I'm going to show you guys this. It's too big. Hang on. Can I? There we go. So this is their archtop model. It is called, I can't remember what it's called, but this is my design, and it's because this is a veneer at the top there, on the top, and it has some very cool stuff. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is follow a link, which I'll pop in the description of my video on Tuesday. No, I'll do it on Monday and Tuesday, and from then on. So we have the rest of the month to vote for my design. If I win the guitar, I'm going to give it away on Chord Dave Live the week after it arrives. So if I win it, one of you guys is going to win it. So head over to Facebook. The company's called Emerald Guitars. They have a giveaway on the thing there on their page. And if you like it, you can win this guitar. It's worth about $6,000, by the way. So let me just show you the back, because it's a carbon fiber guitar. You can see it. Can you see it there? Yes, you can. It's taken over the whole screen. And it even comes with a leather strap that they're putting on it there as well. So we got red on the back there as well. And look, feel free to put your own entry in. All you got to do is use the builder, share the image, put it on their Facebook page. And as I said, my plan, I've put one up there, find my comment. And if you find it and like it, and I get the most likes, I'll win the guitar. As soon as I get it, I'll do a video about it, and then I'll do the giveaway here on Chord Dave Live the following week. So incentive for you to vote for me and my design. Because I get a video out of it, and I get to give one of you guys a $6,000 guitar. That'd be awesome. So yeah, somebody just mentioning winning a guitar or a giveaway reminded me of that. I meant to put something together and I didn't get to. Anyway, let's move on from there. Mark says, I like the Meteora too, except I wish Fender would make more guitars that aren't 25.5 inch scale. Just give us a 24.75 inch option. Just saying. Yeah, they don't want to do that. I wish the Starcaster had a smaller body, just a smidge. Has it got a really big body? It sounds wrong to be asking that. Scott says, I'll send a single screenshot from the first Back to the Future movie and ask if it makes sense. Makes any sense to you. All right, sweet. I'm looking forward to it, because that's very cool, because I do love a bit of movie mysteries as well. So that'll be fun times. Thanks, Scott. Let's see. Geek Lord is mad. DHL delivered his expensive guitar to the wrong house according to my push notification. Is he the only one that's ever happened to, or that they care what's inside? Yeah, I don't know. I have had guitar deliveries like just left outside in the open before. Before this house, I lived in a house that had like a large driveway, but it was like, you know, across the road there was another house, a couple of houses nearby and stuff like that. So it wasn't exactly on a main road or lots of people around, but there was like it was out in public, and they left it just like just pushed up against a car in the driveway. It wasn't my car, and yeah, it was just sitting there with an amp as well at the same time. It's just so delivery drivers do not care what's in your box that they're delivering. All they care about is that they can mark it off that they've delivered to you. Apparently they get 3 minutes for each delivery, so the quicker they can just drop the box and get out of there, that's all they care about. Doesn't matter if it's a €300 guitar or a €10,000 guitar, they just don't care. So there you go. Yeah, it sucks though, but funny. I'm just gonna have to watch that video. I'm sure he got it sorted out before he made the video. But we'll see. Muddy H2O, yet another super chat. Sir, thank you so much. You are the patron saint of this channel, I believe. You know, we just celebrated the patron saint of this country, so now it's patron saint of the channel, which is yourself, good sir. Thank you. You know, all this V-shaped beard, if one were to turn David's head upside down, he would closely resemble the Gibson Theodore. I should have read the comment before saying thank you, shouldn't I? Damn it. Well, you live and learn. You live and learn. Next time. Thank you for saying I resemble a guitar. And yeah. You can play them sitting if you want to be a contortionist. No, you just got to know how to hold them. That's all. Muddy H2O taught me how to hold a V sitting, how to play a V sitting down. So that's a good reason to be part of this channel. You learn things from Muddy H2O. Greatest name on YouTube. Still believe it. William Alexander, you can't because I'm going to win Robert's Meteora. All right, competition. I like it. It'll be fun if someone who comes to this live stream was to win that guitar. That'd be excellent. I'd love that. Paul David's videos frustrates me. As he often talks over my head. I know some theory, but once he starts with them chords, I'm lost. Yeah, the dude knows a lot. That's for sure. Emerald Guitars is cool, says Marcia. Yeah, they are cool. Yeah, it's, you know, expensive as well, so I think they make some very cool stuff. It's fun just going through their website. Their guitar builder is very fun, by the way, if you want to check that out. Spent a few hours on that the other day. Let's see, Dave, if you were on an endless camel ride, what guitar shape would you prefer to have to play on the back of a camel? Dang. I don't know. Let me see. It would be a well, the answer to that question all the time is an SG. And yeah, I would still pick an SG over a V or anything else. So let me see. So Scott had asked, is there a link to the Emerald Guitars thing? So I'm going to try and pop it in there. Hopefully you guys can see that, as I know sometimes Facebook, or not Facebook, the other one, YouTube is like, you can't put links in your YouTube comments. But it's there if you guys want to check that out. So yeah, SG is the answer to that question on a camel, Scott. I think. Or it might be a Tele. SG or a Tele. It's pretty cool. I presume that's mean the design for the guitar. Yeah, you know, the veneer is what makes it, because it matches perfectly with the tailpiece and everything. It's a pretty sweet looking thing. So guys, if you want it, you just gotta make sure that I get the most number of likes on that page. I know there's 26 of us watching here, and that includes me as well, by the way. So we got to just, you know, spread the word as well and try and get some likes on that comment. Mine is in there, and there's a couple of hundred likes on some of the guitars, so we can do it. There's 5,000 people subscribed to the channel, although, like, I know not all 5,000 swing by every week, but, you know, I'm sure we can do it. we've got like 2 more weeks. Chris from Coburg says, I made it. Good to have you here, Chris. Thanks so much. Muddy H Show is a patron saint of mud and water. Patron saint of singing the blues, perhaps. For sure. Unbelievably, this is the first time this has happened in quite a while. I am almost to the bottom of the chats, so guys, keep them coming in. We gotta keep going a little bit more. Otherwise, we'll just call it early and go home, and then I'll just keep popping up T-shirts and things. Because if you don't like the Freebird one, you can just go with the standard one, which is blue, or you can go with the black one if you want to be actually cool. So I'm just saying. Those are I was waiting for somebody to say, hey, you're giving out about Gibson with a lifestyle product, and then you pop up a lifestyle product. Life of a YouTuber whose AdSense doesn't pay his rent. It's not going to. But there you go. Anyway, Chris says, cheers to all, tipping some brews. Peace on earth. Yeah, absolutely. Tipping the brews, you got to do that. That's what Saturdays were made for, I believe. Al says, stretch your strings between the camel's humps and play slide guitar. Some pretty strange thinking right there. Scott says, do you live in a Bugs Bunny cartoon? What? Are you talking to me? Because, yeah, I do. Usually. It's what I it's what I think of my life as being, actually, some sort of cartoon. There's always someone after me, and I always find some creative way to get out of it. Anyway. After all, tone is in strings. Can't have this argument. People are going to be like, no, it's all in the wood on the fretboard, and then no, it's in the mahogany, no, it's in the this, that. It's just whatever, dudes, whatever. Everyone has their own opinion, and everyone's right on that one. Muddy HO says, 3-chord David. He's just doing it. He's just doing it to drive me crazy. Greatest name on YouTube shirts would be dope. Let me know when your birthday is, and we'll see what we can do, for sure. David Ruiz says, I love the shamrocks on the fretboard that Emerald Guitars does. They have some very cool inlay designs available, some Celtic designed ones, and yeah, they're really cool, the options. So as I said, like I spent a good bit of time on that website just playing around with the different models, and it's a lot of fun to do. And you can now choose the specific veneer that your guitar is made with, and you can move it up and down and all sorts of things. So all good stuff there. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're interested in just playing around with a guitar builder online. It works really well. And if you're after a high-end guitar made in Ireland, that's the one for you. Al says, I'd buy that shirt. Well, Al, thanks so much. Links are always in the description of the videos. They'll be there, so don't worry. I said 5 weeks or so, they'll be still there. Benny says, DHL is usually fairly good in Denmark. UPS is another matter. Boxes often grow more edges during transport and are sometimes just left outside. Yeah, it does really depend on who your delivery person is. I don't like to buy from Andertons for the fact that the courier they use here is one of the worst ones. So if I'm buying from them, not only now since Brexit is it a pain in the rear end with taxes and customs fees and all that sort of crack, the whole is it going to be delivered in one piece thing is a whole other issue. So it's it's frustrating. With DHL, for my part, I mean, they're here quite a lot. Things from work and stuff like that were coming quite often, and guitar things, I like to get stuff delivered by DHL because they do a better job around here too. But yeah, so some of the other brands, which is terrible. And I said, I've had guitars. What annoyed me was that guitar I said it was left outside. That and the amp were left outside in the rain. It was like, you guys can see it says musical instrument on the box. Why'd you leave it in the rain? Dumbasses. But anyway, I had other issues, like there was orders for clothes coming. They were just like thrown at the door rather than dropped at the door and stuff like that. So yeah, delivery people, if you're out there, be more attentive to our stuff. It's expensive. Money H2O does say tone is in the ears. There's just no disagreeing with that. You hear the tone through your ears. So yeah, tone is in the tuning keys. I'm not sure you guys are playing with me or not. Tone is in the tone master. If you don't have a tone master, you don't have tone. That's how it works. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around, does Geek Lord still get a free guitar to sell? I think so. I think that's the rules. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's his business, so it's all good. I guarantee you there's people who have never watched the show before, and now they're like, who's this Geek Lord person they're talking about? Why does he get free guitars? I'm not going to clear it up. You guys can do it in the comments. Benny, I personally never had a problem with DHL here in NYC. I rarely have issues, but I've had problems with FedEx, UPS, and USPS. DHL have never goofed my parcels yet. That's delivery companies really do. I think it depends. If you get someone who is a musician or has ordered from the company you've ordered from, they know what's in there is probably important. Whereas I think a lot of their boxes and packages and stuff like that, they're just like, whatever this is, it's not that important if it's on my band today. Whew, there you go. I mean, if it says musical instrument or it's from a musical instrument company, take it easy. Although I did feel sorry for the guy who delivered 3 guitars in one day to me. He was not happy with me because they were heavy. Sorry, dude. Made worse by the fact I wasn't here and he had to drag them back to his van and I had to go collect them then. Oh well. Better steer clear of him delivering for a while. Fun fact, UPS is literally the Danish spelling of the word whoops. It's a good one to know, actually, Betty. Thanks for that. It just makes perfect sense. How about tone is period? Just leave it at that. Yeah, it just drives some people crazy. I know there are some people in the group and the 3 Chord Dave community who are very insistent on where tone comes from, and they have very specific ideas. For me, it only comes from the SG. That's all. If it's not an SG, then it's got no tone, as far as I'm concerned. Just kidding, of course. Glenn says, my Sweetwater orders that come through FedEx, I have sent to an affiliate delivery location because they deliver to wrong addresses in my neighborhood often. We used to, in Ireland, we didn't have zip codes for a long time. And now we have air codes, which is essentially a zip code or postcode. How long have we had them? Like 4 years, 5 years? But people didn't use them at first even. And your address could be your name, your town, your county. That's it. Like there was hardly, unless the delivery person knew you or could contact you on the phone, you wouldn't get your package. So this whole zip code, postcode, air code thing has been helpful because now you can just give people that and they know where they come to your door. It's great. But yeah, typical Irish people, we just didn't use them. And as any Irish people here, you'll know because they were released like 2 years before they were actually even accurate. So we all got them and you'd plug it in and it would show you somewhere the other side of the country. At least it did for mine. So yeah, it's but now they deliver accurately to our place. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it's interesting to know different people, different places have different delivery problems. You know what it is? You need to order more stuff so they know where you are. That's the thing. I think I'm done buying gear for now. Make sure with what I've got, too pricey. Things are pricey and they're getting very much pricier. Nothing's changing there anytime soon, I don't think. But yeah, because yeah, I think we're having another price increase from Fender. It's already planned for the summer. Um, so yeah, it's definitely a problem. Prices are just going to keep going up, man. But yeah, I get you. I get you. Benny deserves comment of the night award. He does. It's a pretty good one. Al had a good one earlier too, though. So competition. Maybe we should do a comment of the live stream, and make it competitive. That would be interesting. Oh, I'll have to think on that for a week or two. If there's a hole in a wall and no one is around, is there still glory involved? Hmm. Yeah. As soon as I started this live stream, I was like, I just didn't think that that's what was gonna come up every week. I thought we would have something else that was like a running thing, but no, it's the glory holes. It's always the glory holes. This channel could get banned off YouTube for how much those come up. It couldn't, but you know, nothing would surprise me. If newbies stay tuned, they'll figure it out. That's true. Stay tuned, newbies, because eventually it'll make sense to you. Um, and Glenn says, tone comes from the heart. There you go. There you go. That's very true. I appreciate that. Actually, that's a very good comment right there. Just out of curiosity, are there any newbies out there? And Stephen Fraser, who I think might be new to the Chord Dave Live, says, are Gibson SGs neck heavy? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Older ones are, and for sure, and newer ones, they're trying to work on it. But honestly, it's not that bad. I've never had that big a problem with it, being a big SG fan. Get a good strap, and it really doesn't affect you too much. But honestly, you would say yes, they are a little bit neck heavy. Tone comes from the tone knobs. It's even in the name. Benny, see, what would we do if you weren't here to tell us? We would not have realized that. So yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Anthony Thornhill says, I'm late to the party. Hello to all. Always glad to see you, Anthony. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're doing well out there. Yeah, good to see you. Don't F with my Sweetwater candy. That's all I can say. Deliver to the right address or else. See, I know you guys don't know how lucky you are to get like free candy with your guitars. Every time I get a Thomann delivery, I dig through it. Like, where's my candy, dudes? They don't send any. You know, is it too much to ask? Although they do send us stickers. Do I have one here that says, in case? I don't have one here, but it says, in case of fire, save my guitars. And it's like, it looks like an actual fire exit sign. So that's kind of cool, but you get one with everything you order. So I've got about 50 of them somewhere. I thought they were here, but I have been cleaning out this place the last week, so maybe I just threw a load out. But yeah, if they could swap it out for like some candies, that'd be great. Muddy HVO, super chat of the stream is a good idea too. Absolutely, absolutely. That's a bit one-sided at the moment though, but yeah, for sure you would win that every week. It's I think we should vote on comment that made Dave more uncomfortable, and I think I know who would win it every single week. But yeah, good idea. We went an hour without speaking of the whole new record. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if it is a record. I think we had one or two streams where it didn't come up at all. But now I just think it's going to come in all the time, all the time. And honestly, I never thought that's would be. Maybe that's what the one person who disliked the stream today, like, didn't like to talk of glory holes. You see, it's not everyone's on board with the whole glory hole thing. And again, if you're a newbie, it's got a musical meaning to it, so just stick around. You'll get it eventually. It will be explained in time. Where does tone come from if you only have a volume knob? You see, we're getting to the real crux of the matter right here. And the Asian redneck says, tone comes from the glory holes. So someone had to say it. No. Asian redneck. Nobody had to say it, but now you have. So there you go. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Scott says, I'd rather the sticker than the candy. Listen, I've got a load of them flying around here. I'm sure I can arrange to get some sent out to you guys at some point. I gotta know where they are, for sure. But they'll see. Speaking of something, there was a thing I found on Reverb the other day. Case candy. Uh, it's an air freshener. I think a car air freshener that smells like new guitar smell or vintage guitar smell. So these dudes in Canada have these guitars. They're charging like $4 for them, €4 or something like that. And I asked the dude how much to send this to me in Europe, and they were like, $24. It's like, dude, I can do better than that. I'll just get you to send it to my American address and send it. Like it'll cost me like $10 anyway. So yeah, Canada, you need to get your shipping prices sorted out, please. If you don't mind, some of you, I know some of you guys are Canadian. Could you sort that out for me? Just speak to someone, tell them fix the Canada to Ireland shipping rates. That'd be fantastic. I don't remember it being that expensive when I was shipping stuff to and from Canada, but I suppose shipping has gone crazy the last couple of years. Our family, which is Butch, says, hey man, long time no see. This is Butch. You know I've been fighting cancer, but haven't been home to keep in touch. Butch, we're all here supporting you. Hope you're doing okay, man. Good luck to you, absolutely. And drop by when you can. I do think about you on a regular basis because get some emails. I'll pop you an email during the week just to check in with you, see how you're doing. But yeah, thanks for popping by. Glenn says, when the next order comes, I'll email you for your address. I'll ship some candy. Hey, sending me candy, that's the direct way to my heart right there. Sounds excellent. Thanks, Glenn, appreciate that. I'll send you some stickers from Toman, and we'll see what else is lying around. It's got some stuff. SB says, I saw Studio 666. It was meh, but I'm excited for the metal album they're going to release on the 25th, Glory and Hole. Dudes, come on. I also saw Studio 666, and yeah, listen. It wasn't. It's not winning any Oscars. Let's put it that way. It's not even winning any Golden Globes, is it? Is Golden Globe still a thing? Anyway, it wasn't great. Don't watch it if you're looking for a good movie. But it was parts of it were funny. There's some nice cameos. Kerry King was in there. If you're keen-eyed at the start, you'll see Kerry King, and who else? John Carpenter was in it, I believe, as the studio or the sound tech guy, and I don't know. There was a few others. It was pretty interestingly funny that way, but wasn't a great movie. Interesting album name. For sure. The person that gave you the thumbs down must have been at the wrong side of that hole. Hey, they knew what side they were on. All right. I don't know the ethics of it, but like, you know where you are, I presume. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. SB said, I didn't see it, but I'm excited for the album. And the album could be good, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure the movie's gonna win many people over to it though. Yeah. Wow, new guitar smell stuff. Yeah, it was exciting. I'm gonna get some and see, get a couple of them and see what they actually smell like. Now, the thing is, I've looked at it again. I don't think it's new guitar smell. I think it's vintage guitar smell. So that's different. But like, people are all like, if you watch Anderton's videos, every time they open a Gibson in particular, they're like, wow, they could sell this smell on an air freshener or something. And if that's what they've done, I think they'll be very popular. So I'm going to check it out, see what it is, and make my car smell like an old guitar or a new guitar, whatever it is. so, so yeah, good for me while I'm driving around the places. Is Geek Lord married to a Les Paul? I think he has a human wife, but if he was married to a guitar, it would be a Les Paul, I believe. So yeah, I believe it. I believe that's the case. Anthony says, tone comes from the hands is my belief. See, someone with a little bit of sense, and understanding of issues. You, me, and Joey B standing for Bonamassa, believe that too. Anthony, yeah, absolutely. That's where it comes from. But some people believe it comes from the tone knobs and everything else. There's a bit of joking around going on the stream today. I think about that. Butch says, I'd start another account because they didn't like my US Marine point of view. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, Butch, but hopefully you keep this one for a bit. So listen, we're always glad to see you here. Scott says, we ship mail by dog sled. Dog food prices are through the roof. I knew there was a reason. I knew it. I'm with Danish Pete. Bottle that nitro aroma. Yeah, I mean, when you apply nitro, it doesn't smell great. So, yeah, maybe there's a thing though. I mean, new Gibsons do smell pretty nice. It's like a sweet vanilla kind of. It is pretty cool. It's making me want to buy a new Gibson right now, to be honest, thinking about it. But we better not rest on that one for too long. Marsha says to SB, no, he's an LP bigamist. Obviously, yeah, he's into free love when it comes to LPs, that's for sure. Well, you just can't have too many guitars. I'm envious of him. Envious of him, his guitar collection and the amount of guitars that come through his hands. I wish that was me, to be honest. Quite honest with you. But sooner or later, I'll have my own guitar business. Because this YouTube channel will be the reason I be like, I don't care we're making a loss. I got to buy another guitar. And, divorce and homelessness. But I'll still be running the channel and have loads of new guitars. So it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. The future. Looking into the future. It's bleak. Let's see. Butch says, you guys don't understand what that means. Butch, you've been with us for a long time. We're pretty, I got to say this actually, I got to call you guys out. We're a great community. People get behind everyone else in the comments and everything here. There's a lot of love going on between the Three Chord Dave community. You guys care for each other and are honestly such a cool community. We're small. There's not many of us, but we have some great people here. So Al, we're all here for you. We're all rooting for you. So, or Butch, sorry. We're all here for you. You see, it doesn't sound like it when I get your name wrong, but Butch, we are all here for you and wishing you well, definitely. So yeah, swing by anytime you get a chance. And don't worry if you miss a week or so, just pop in when you can. Al says, tone comes from the amp's presence. No, oh wait, my amp doesn't have one. David Ruiz says, anything Dave Grohl does makes me cringe. I can't stand the Foo Fighters. Extremely overrated. That's one point of view. I don't mind the Foo Fighters. They're not my favorite band, but I don't mind them. I've seen them live. They put on a really good live show. So I saw them at Slane Castle, actually, which is a great place. If you ever get a chance to see a gig at Slane Castle, it's one of the best places probably in the world to see a concert. It's difficult to get to and to get from, but it's a great place to be at a gig. They release DVDs of gigs or live videos from shows at Slane Castle all the time, and it's an amazing place. So Foo Fighters played there 2015, I think. Very good show. They did well, but yeah, I think look, some people like the Foos and some people really don't. I used to love them. They did an album. I can't even remember which one now, but One by One, is that an album? And I really loved it at the time. My brother's a big Foo Fighters fan. now as well. But yeah, I like them. I don't dislike them, but I get your point. I can see why you think it, to be quite honest. Um, they're a little bit too big, I think, is the problem. Yeah, they're just too popular. Um, Leslie Paul, Geek Lord is her married name. People are like, who's this Geek Lord person? 98% of tone comes from your hands and the electronics. Yeah, I want a horror movie starring Bonamassa. His forehead grows and it takes over the world. SB, I like it. I'm going to pitch it to Paramount to see what they come up with. If they give us the budget, we'll do it. I don't know if Joe will be signing on to it, but we'll see. The only time wood really comes into the equation for tone is with acoustics. See, Todd Moore's going to disagree with that. He's not here today, but because he had to leave for family reasons. But if he watches this back, he'll be upset. So Todd, sorry. Cushman, hey all, hey Cushman, nice to see you. Thanks for popping by. Butch says the best things come in small packages, brother. Yeah, I've heard that once or twice before. Anyway, the innuendo is becoming too much on this show. Al says tone comes from amps, presence knob. And wait, my amp does have. Yes. I read that before. I think you mentioned it. But yeah, it's you know where tone comes from. It comes from the heart, as I think Glenn said. So there you go. SB says, or Benny says, it's too scary for me. It's not scary at all. The Foo Fighters movie, by the way, it's laughably bad, to be quite honest. Like the acting is horrendous. But yeah, it was funny. It was bad, so bad that it was funny, I think was the thing. But anyway. Marge says, I love the Foos, but it's cool if you don't. We all love G and R here, and that's the important thing. Yes, that is the important thing. G and R, what date is it? The 19th of March? 3 months, almost to the day. Should be seeing Guns N' Roses live this year. It's been 3 years waiting. So, 2.5 years waiting, is it? But 2019, I bought the tickets for 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because Aerosmith have cancelled the European tour for this year. So fingers crossed, Guns N' Roses actually play in Dublin this summer. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, I love Guns N' Roses. That's the main thing. I also think they're genuinely good people. In terms of the Foo Fighters, I mean, listen, Pat Smear, what a dude. He's been around. I like him. Yeah, no, they do seem to be cool people. Musically, look, we all have different tastes. I like things, but I like things like today that I won't like in a month's time. I'll like a song at times and I'll be like, this is the coolest song ever. And then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, ugh, I'm sick of this song. So yeah, things change. Maybe we'll all be Foo Fighters fans. Maybe we'll all hate the Foo Fighters at some point. But I'd love to see a Guns N' Roses movie. That'd be messed up. Anyway, that's why I like Joe B better when he wears a hat. So you're saying in our movie pitch he should wear a hat? All right, interesting. I think the movie Amadeus proved that tone comes from the glory hole. Al, I thought you were above that. I thought you were above the glory hole stuff. But apparently, just right there with it. Yeah, so thanks, Al. Appreciate it. If you people don't stop this inappropriate talk, it'll be your room. It'll be to your room with no glory hole for you. It's just ascending. It's just ascending into, I can't control it. I don't know what's happening. People are gonna be like, I'm gonna check out that Chord Dave Live thing, and then we're talking about glory holes, and they're like, oh, this is different. Yeah, sorry. If it's not Glenn, it's usually Marcia that brings them up. It's one of the two. So sorry guys, I had to call you out there. SB says SB says, good, we need merch. Plushies of Joe, and if you squish them, they scream the flame veneer. It's good. Trust me for it. I can't get drawn into that argument again because I think I'm on the Joe Bonamassa naughty list. But oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Benny, you meant the Bonamassa movie? Yeah, that would be quite scary. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we'll do our best to make it fun for you. Steven says, what model of chair are you sitting in? This is a UMI, UMI, from, I think it's just an Amazon brand or something. I don't really know. I had to buy one in a pinch, and yeah, it was on Amazon. It's pretty decent. I've had it a couple of years now, and it works. I sit on it when I'm working. So this is the chair I sit on the most. It's comfortable. It's got armrests, which go up and down, which is what my company were like, you have to have. And reclines and everything, although I've never really used the reclining feature. But yeah, it's a pretty decent one. I think it was about 200 euros maybe. I know. But yeah, that's a Yumi gaming chair. I don't do any gaming on it. Sorry. Aerosmith cancelled because Steven Tyler had a handkerchief accident with a mic. It's happened before. So yeah, it's rough on them. It's rough on Steven because every time they do cancel a tour, everyone's like, oh no, he's done it again, hasn't he? A friend of mine went to an Aerosmith gig and he was off his face, just out of it, like couldn't sing, nothing. Anyway, I mean, Aerosmith should probably call it a day, same as the Stones, but hey, it's all good. Interview with Whitford. I saw he hinted that there will probably not be another Aerosmith tour. He cited health and age reasons. Yeah, I think this was being billed. I think it was being billed as like the final farewell tour. So people were like, "Oh, I'll go see Aerosmith finally." But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me to see them do like a Vegas residency as a final farewell and play like 3 months or something. But yeah, they had a whole European tour planned, which I believe was starting in April, so fairly soon. And yeah, it's not happening now. So anyway, but thanks for sharing that information, Glenn. Appreciate it. Money H2O says, odd, Joe must be watching. I just received an email from his website saying the Blues God Glory Hole ashtray is now for sale. He steals all my good ideas. I don't know why he does it, but he does. My God. Marcia says, feel free to call me out. That's a compliment. Well, called out you are. The stage. But yeah, thanks, Marcia. I'll continue to comment. Butch says, I have acquired a 1946 Esquire all original since we've talked last. We'll send you some pictures of what I have got. Very interesting, Butch. Yeah, well, I definitely want to check that out. 46 wouldn't would be very, 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 that'd be like prototype stages before. I mean, it was 1950, I think, when the Esquire was actually officially produced. So yeah, let me know what you got there. That'd be cool. Yeah, pop them onto the email. I'll get to the emails when I can. We'll see what we've got. Al says, hasn't the Eagles had 5 farewell tours? Around about 5, yeah, absolutely. I think Elton John has another final farewell tour this year happening as well. So yeah, they're all doing it. All the legends are doing it. So we'll see. We'll see how many more they have, to be quite honest. But you're going to email it now, and it's an original Snakehead. That'd be very cool. I will be interested to check that out and find out all about it from you. So yeah, I mean, if it's that early, we might be able to dig some information up about it for you. So that'd be very cool. Excellent. Thanks for sending that on to us, Butch. That'll be super cool. Anyway, guys, listen, I think we might just wrap it up there because we are just about 10 minutes out from 12 o'clock. And, you know, it's a Saturday. It's still 2 days since St. Patrick's Day, so we all need a little bit of rest and everything. But listen, it's been great chatting to you today. I appreciate all of the chat, all of the stuff about the fuggliest guitar Gibson have produced in the last 70 years and 75 years, I suppose. It is essentially just a reshaped SG. But there you go. Yeah, so the other thing, to just not forget, it does come in different colors. And as Marsha did point out, it'll probably get made in a cheaper version like an SG, or sorry, not an SG, a USA made line or something like that. Don't forget to pop along to Emerald Guitars, to their Facebook page, find the competition and do like this guitar on it. I think it's called the Virtuoso. It's worth €6,000. If I win it, I'm going to give it to one of you guys. We're going to do a 3-Chord Dave Live giveaway. So if you want to win this guitar, everybody go and hit like on that post. I will make sure there's links in the description of my videos from tomorrow. So come back to watch any 3-Chord Dave video tomorrow. The link will be there directly to the comment. Yeah, and thanks so much, guys. You have, as always, brightened up my week and made me laugh and have a good time. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. So take care of yourselves. Have a great week. Look out for videos, hopefully Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And I'll see you again next Saturday for 3-Chord Dave Live, number 25. Looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, take care. I will see you next week. And until then, I'm going to say take care again. See you, guys.